There's something nobody talks about. The smartest people you know are probably the loneliest. Not because they're arrogant, not because they think they're better than everyone else. It's actually the opposite. They want connection. They crave it deeply. But something keeps pulling them back. Back to silence. Back to their own thoughts. Back to being alone. And the strange part? They're not even that sad about it. If you've ever felt more peace reading alone than standing in a crowded room full of people, if you've ever left a party early and felt relief the moment your door closed behind you, this video may explain something you've never been able to put into words. Let's start with something uncomfortable. Most people assume smart people are alone because they're difficult, cold, maybe even arrogant. But nobody talks about the real reason. And honestly, it's far more painful. It's not arrogance. It's exhaustion.
Imagine this. You walk into a work event. Someone smiles and says, "So, how's the weather?" For most people, that's harmless small talk. For someone with a highly analytical mind, something different happens. Their brain starts processing everything. Why are we talking about this? What are they actually trying to say? Are they trying to connect? Or are they just filling silence? By the time the conversation ends, they're already drained. It's not that they hate people. It's that every interaction costs them something. Energy, attention, mental bandwidth. And when conversations never go deeper, when they stay stuck on the surface, it starts feeling like paying full price for something that was never delivered. That isn't arrogance. That's depletion. But that still isn't the real reason they pull away.
Here's where it gets interesting. Highly intelligent people notice things most others miss, not because they try to. Their brains are wired for pattern recognition. They read rooms. They notice facial expressions. They hear what people avoid saying. And that gift comes with a cost. The more you notice, the harder it becomes to trust people. You see inconsistencies. You notice fake behavior. You notice when someone says one thing, but means something completely different. You notice when friendliness feels transactional. Over time, you stop investing in those interactions. Not because you judge people, because you're protecting yourself. There's actual research behind this. A study published in the British Journal of Psychology found that highly intelligent people reported lower life satisfaction the more time they spent socializing. Think about that. For most people, socializing feels energizing. For highly intelligent people, it can feel draining, unless the connection feels real. And this is where people misunderstand everything. Smart people do want connection. Desperately. They just have a much higher standard for what real connection feels like. Casual friendships don't satisfy them. Surface-level conversations don't reach them. They want conversations that change both people. The kind where 2 hours feel like 10 minutes. The kind where you leave knowing something new about yourself. That kind of connection is rare. So, instead of settling, they return to the one place that always delivers: their own mind. And that's where things change. Solitude stops feeling like a backup plan. It becomes the main event. When they're alone, their mind becomes louder. A thought from last week connects to a memory from years ago. That connects to a question they still can't answer. And suddenly, they're having the most interesting conversation of their life, completely alone.
Reading, building, thinking, creating. These aren't escape mechanisms. This is when they feel most alive. And once you experience that level of inner richness, ordinary interactions can feel painfully shallow. Not inferior people, just inferior depth. There's a difference. And once you understand that difference, their love for solitude makes complete sense. And this often starts much earlier than people realize. Many highly intelligent people spent large parts of childhood alone. Not always by choice. Sometimes they didn't fit in. They were too intense, too curious, too different. They asked questions adults didn't want to answer. They noticed things others ignored. So they built an inner world, a world made of books, imagination, questions, long afternoons alone. And somewhere in that solitude, they found themselves. That inner world became home. And for many people, it still feels like the safest place they know. And it gets even deeper. Because the cruelest irony of intelligence might be this. The same mind that makes someone extraordinary in solitude can make them feel deeply isolated around others. They want connection. They really do. They want someone they can finally be fully honest with. Someone they can share their fears with, their ideas, their hidden thoughts, their real self. But many of them have been burned before. They opened up and watched people lose interest. They went deep and found people unwilling to follow. They cared deeply and found that energy wasn't returned.
So they build walls, not from coldness, from protection. And the tragedy? Behind those walls is often one of the most thoughtful, caring, and curious people you'll ever meet. They just stopped believing people would stay long enough to understand them. Now add modern life on top of all this. Constant notifications, social media, group chats, infinite noise. For most people, that's normal life. For highly intelligent people, it feels suffocating because they see through it. They see performance. They see validation seeking. They see fake connection. And eventually, they walk away. They go home. They flip their phone over. They open a book and they sit with their thoughts. Not because they gave up on people, but because they refuse fake substitutes. And here's the truth. Smart people don't prefer being alone because they hate people. They prefer solitude because they love depth. They've experienced real connection, and they can't settle for counterfeit versions of it. Their inner world is genuinely fascinating to them. They don't need constant validation. The silence isn't empty. It's full. And maybe you don't need to fix that part of yourself. Maybe your discomfort with shallow conversations means you see things clearly. Maybe your need for depth isn't a flaw. Maybe it's accuracy. And when the right people finally arrive, they won't feel exhausting. They'll feel like oxygen. Until then, the quiet is not wasted time. It's where you become someone worth knowing. And if this video explains something you've struggled to explain yourself, share it with someone who needs it. And if you want to understand your mind even deeper, the next video is waiting for you.